doubled up. You got yours, I got mine. Oh, he dropped it, Feed it back.
Damn it.
Oh man, we were doubled up, Big Daddy.
You got him? Am I under your
Yours
way?
is gonna, no, you're good, I'm under you. He'll
Go
come back
on with it.
Mine's not bad.
Oh, you got a pretty trout.
That is better. We'll take them over on this side. Man, I can't believe we were doubled up on 67+ pound trout. Are you on?
No.
Okay. Oh yeah. And then what's about the size we're coming after here?
Look at that.
We want them a little bit bigger, but
Good gracious.
I'll take it.
Yes, sirree.
By 6.5 pounds,
It's like,
maybe 7. 6.5. He's probably 27 inches, would you
Yeah.
say?
You'd say 27 inches. I wouldn't have any idea. You caught so many of them. Oh, look, you got the hook out. Everything has a predator.
Yeah.
The trout has a predator, with the exception of man.
Right.
What is the #1 predator
I'd definitely
of
say
the trout?
say dolphin, porpoise.
Porpoise.
Yeah, dolphin and sharks. You'll always find the really big trout next to dry ground or near a sandbar that they can get shallower than the dolphins or sharks can get them. That is their predator.
That's why you catch the big trout real shallow.
Real shallow. Yep, too shallow for the dolphins and sharks.
Big dolphin or a porpoise can't get into a foot of water.
I also don't think that they like adapt. Like when they get bigger, they realize, hey, we need to go shallow. I think when trout naturally live shallow, like he's 12 inches long and he just wants to be shallow, he's going to live a lot longer than the trout that wants to go swim around in the deeper water. So they get bigger.
It makes sense. And there's always a lot of forage there.
Yeah, and they're ambush feeders. Trout don't roam around fast-moving, hitting baits. They use their spots as camouflage. So they'll nestle up next to some grass on the edge of like a sand hole, real shallow water. And whenever that mullet or bait fish swims right overhead, they only got they just strike like a snake.
And you've got irregular features along that shallow water too.
Yep.
You know, it'll go from 18 inches down to 24 inches or a little bit deeper, but it's always considerably shallow.
And that's where you'll find them, yeah, right on those changes. We're getting close to the gator trout size. And super fun to catch.
Yes, sir.
Those gamakatsus, those octopus hooks, they are the best shape of hook for tail hooking baits for these big gator trout. Like I try to use circle hooks whenever I can, but like that is the best shape. For when you're fishing a tail hook bait for these big trout. Hooks them right in the corner of the mouth. This octopus shape is best for when you're rigging a bait and hooking it in the tail. If you use a circle hook, the hook will hook back into your bait and it won't hook the game fish. But that octopus hook, that's a J hook, but the tip bends in, so you don't gut hook the fish. It comes out of the bait, out of the tail of the bait, and hooks them right in the corner of the mouth just about every time. So that's definitely, in my opinion, the best hook to use when you're tail hooking any kind of live bait fish, especially for trout.
So you find the 7/0 is ideal for what we're doing.
You want to match the hook to the size of bait and the fish. So we're fishing for big trout, and we've got big pilchards for bait. So yeah, this is the best hook for today.
How important is hook size?
Hook size is extremely important. I like to match the size of the hook to the size of the bait. I don't like to match the size of the hook to the size of the fish that we're going to catch, because the bait has to swim freely and look natural. So it's really important.
So, in other words, it's more important to match the hook to the size of the bait versus the hook to the size of the fish.
Absolutely. If you put too big of a hook on a little bait, it's going to sink him down. And if you have too small of a hook on too big of a bait, you won't get a hook up when the fish bites your bait. So it's real important. This is just a 2-aught gamakatsu octopus hook. It's kind of a hybrid between a circle hook and a J hook. You don't gut hook the fish or hook them deep, but you can still set the hook really hard out of the bait and into the fish. So it's a great live bait hook.
I got it.
Nice one, Beepo.
Boy, you know these fish. I'm telling you the truth. What's the biggest mistake that anglers make when they come here in search for a gigantic trout?
The biggest mistake is not being quiet enough when approaching the fish and fishing the fish. So trout, they don't hold real hard in current, they don't hold real hard on structure, they just kind of loaf around. So if you don't approach really quietly on those fish and make really long casts and stay quiet on the boat, those fish will just drift off farther than you're fishing them, and you'll never even get a chance at catching them. That's probably the biggest mistake, is people fish like they're fishing for other types of species. They come in fast, they come in hard, and they make a lot of commotion.
So if you're targeting fish with live bait, mullet is a great choice.
I love mullet, yes.
And free lining.
Free lining, especially in these shallow flats, because they just kick out there.
And of course, spinning tackle is,
right.
is a way to go.
Definitely.
With 20 to 30 pound braid.
Yep.
And say a 2 to 3 foot section of fluorocarbon leader in what, 30 pound tests?
Yeah, 20 to 30 pound test.
Okay. So incoming or outgoing tides seem to have a bearing?
I love fishing when the current and the wind are going in the same direction. So when you have an inlet, which is where the current goes in and out of, the opposite sides of the inlet will have opposite current directions. So the current flows towards the inlet and out of the inlet. So you want to try to match up what side of the inlet you fish on based on the direction of the wind. So have the wind at your back and the current at your back, and you'll flow the baits to the fish. He's a giant.
It's a giant, he says.
I ain't kidding you. This is like the biggest trout I've caught in a long time myself.
Wow.
Here, I'm gonna grab it, Bill, if you want to take the rod up here.
All right, I'll help you.
Check that dinosaur out.
Look at that. It looks like a log going along.
Got me nervous. When Bill Dance comes to town, the big trout show up. All right, here you go.
It's still not through. Okay. Lip him.
Ooh, I got him.
Oh, wow. Look at the size of that baby.
Oh, man.
Look at that tail. Oh, good gracious, what a big fish.
That thing is huge. I catch a lot of big ones with my clients, but never myself.
It's a mouth. Now, we were talking about the mouth on it. Look at the size of that mouth.
All right, Bill, I'm going to put her back, okay?
Okay, buddy. That's a pretty fish.
You
There
ready?
she goes. And they move out like a late freight when you set that hook on them.
He sure did, didn't he?
They gone. Where do these trout spawn?
They spawn up on shallow flats, sandbars, grass flats. Seems like about 2 to 3 feet of water.
Are big trout found from the upper reaches of the Indian River all the way down? Or are there just certain sections where they're located?
Well, you can find the big trout throughout the entire Indian River Lagoon, but certain areas have more large fish, heavier concentrations than others. Palm Bay is a great area. A little further south in Fort Pierce is a great area. But you can find them throughout, but those two areas are my personal favorites.
How about the big snook?
Same. The big snook and the big trout, they like the same areas and they hang out together.
Oh, he's not ready. Woo, that's a... I bet you that right there's 6 pounds.
Oh, definitely. That's a solid trout. Solid for sure.
Got it.
Cool. You're a heck of a guy letting me catch these fish.
Look how fat that fish is.
He's so fat.
Huh?
So fat. The belly and the girth.
Big
on
old
it.
dorsal.
on,
Look
girl.
how fat it is. Look at that stomach. Whew, pretty fish. That's 6 plus.
Yeah, that's a solid fish.